wonderful students at home. Welcome again to yet another class on English language. Today we'll be looking at oracy skills, spoken English, giving clear, concise, and correct directions. So at the end of today's lesson, we should be able to identify the need for directions and areas where it is needed, to state the tips on directions and give instructions using the tips we are going to be stating today. So sometimes we need to give instructions every day in our life, almost every day in our life we give instructions, depending on the kind of job we do, or even ordinarily at home, give instructions. Now, there are languages for instruction, and that is what today's lesson is all about. Because at the end of your instruction, if at the end of everything you get a result that differs from the instruction you're giving, it all means that your instruction was not understood. That is just the simple thing, that your instruction was not understood. So let's look at the tips to follow in giving instruction. Number one is that you shouldn't assume that your students or your audience know what you mean. Never, never assume. Number one thing you should have in mind while giving instruction is that you should never assume that the person that you are talking to is a mind reader. No. The person, just take it that the person knows nothing about what you are about to tell the person. That way, you're on your way to giving a very good instruction. Number two is that be clear and specific. That is, go straight to the point. Give number and specifics. Go straight to the point. Be clear. Use clear language, okay? Another one is give time frame. Name a time deadline. Name a time deadline. You say, from now till then, do this. Okay? If you want a perfect job, give a time. That's why in your examination we give time. In 1 hour, you should be able to answer this number of questions. In 30 minutes, you should be able to do this. That way, the person does not only endeavor to do the job, but also hastens up to accomplish it in the set time. If the person is unable to accomplish that job in the set time, it means the person has failed in the endeavor. Another one is to give examples. This helps to give clarity from known to the unknown. Give examples. Always give examples. Try to pick something the person knows before. Sometimes in examination, we will tell you what to do, then the next thing you see is example. Man becomes men. Change this from singular to plural. Example, man, men. Okay. That way, your imagination comes alive. You know what you are expected to do, so you don't make any mistake during the job. Another one is to set boundaries. Give alternatives. Give alternatives. It helps you to fall to plan B. At home, somebody says, go and get me this thing in the market. Get me a seasoning named Maggi. If you cannot get Maggi, you get no. That way, the person knows that either I get Maggi or not. So you eliminate the part of the person coming back empty-handed. That is the reason for giving alternatives. If you don't get this, you get this. Even sometimes in an examination, we get in the objective section, you have options. Okay? You have enough alternatives to pick from. Another one is to set boundaries. This entails having a limit to one's liberties. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. For example, I talked about an objective question. If I say A is ball, B is men, and D and so on and so forth, C and D is this and that. It means whatever answer you're going to give me should be from those four I'm giving you in the option. If you are told to get something from the market, get me a packet of Indomie or Tummy Tummy. Or what else? Maybe Zubix. The person knows that I have 3 alternatives. Then I get this, or this. And I mustn't get anything outside this. Now, giving me these 3 alternatives show that I have my boundary. I should not exceed this number of items. Okay. Another one is to get clarification. At the end of your instruction, if you do not want to suffer from high blood pressure or something, ask those students, ask the person who is supposed to be the receiver of the instruction to give you a feedback. Tell the person, what have I just said? As soon as you get exactly what you said, then the course is clear. But if there is any bottleneck, If there's anything you have said that the person has failed to tell you back, then that means that the instruction you gave was not well received. That way you quickly make amends. Another one is to think of your audience. Think of them. The instruction is not about the audience, so you should do everything in your power to make sure that your audience understands what you have said or understand you. You think of them, all right? Having said that, number 9, give instructions in more than one way. Vary the way you give the instruction. Okay? Use higher language, you use the lower one. Make eye contact, you can even make gestures, draw or whatever. And that brings us to the next one, that you should project your voice and provide visual support. Of course, get their full attention, all lump into one. Get their full attention. Make sure that everybody is paying attention to you. Project your voice. Make sure your voice gets to the last person in your class, to the last person in the audience you are talking to. Another one is to provide visual support. Sometimes you need to draw, like I've just drawn here. You can draw a star or sun. The other day I gave something to draw about concrete now. I had to draw. That way, if you don't want to use the star or the sun image, you can use something else. That way, you already have something in your mind to use. If I just say it with my mouth and go away, your imagination will have a better job to do. But when you see it drawn, it is better understood. Now look at the choice of words you use. What are the kind of words you use? Remember that when we talk about giving directions, giving clear direction, it is assumed, or it should be noted, that it should be from the superior to the subordinate. And because of that, you shouldn't be afraid to use command, because instruction demands the use of imperatives, commands. You want to get a job done, and they should do it this way. You use sharp words such as give, sharp verbs, give, put, ask, make, attend, bring, buy. You are commanding. Okay? These are sharp verbs to use. Another one, of course, use command and add must. You must do it this way and no other way. That is how to give clear, concise, and correct direction. Thank you so much for paying attention. And before I let you go, please do this assignment for me. Every one of you should give me 2 instructions. 2 instructions. Give instruction. Okay, one person to just two instructions, and make sure it is understood. If I fail to understand it, if you use a choice of words that gives me a confusion, are you saying this or that? Then I tell you it's wrong. Okay? So do so, and God bless you. Of course, you submit before I block. You know our way. Thank you so much for paying attention, and God bless you.